Okay, so we are outside the second largest Tibetan Buddhist temple in the world. It's the largest one outside of Tibet. And right here we have a stall where they're selling things, and they have Red Army jackets, or what is that? Book bags. And they have Chairman Mao's words right outside the second holiest Tibetan site in the world outside of Tibet. That's pretty crazy. We're about to go in. We took a morning off because we didn't want to have to take a vacation from our vacation because we did too much. So we spent the morning sleeping in, having fun, and last night we went to dinner. It was very interesting. Went to a nice restaurant, and the first thing they said to us before we even got up to the host was, you better be done in under an hour because we're going to need to flip your table fast. So if you can't eat that fast, we don't want you here tonight. And that was really interesting. Can't imagine that happening in America. So, but it was very good. We had fun last night, having fun today, and about to go see the Tibetan. Okay, we are at the that same Tibetan holy site. It's actually a lamasery, which is basically a monastery for Tibetan Buddhist monks. They're ringing the gong. To my right, we have large pits burning fires, which people are using to put incense together, which they offer here on my left. They're offering it to this Buddha here, this statue. And what's interesting is Tibetan Buddhism is much more linked to India than it is to China. So if you go in there, it looks a lot more like an Indian temple than it does Chinese anything. So it just reminds me a lot of India, the way it looks like. There's lots of flowers, people bowing before an image and so forth. You see that kind of thing in India.
Hi, we're getting ready to go into the Confucian Temple and Imperial College. Back many years ago, before the revolution and everything, they had like a government exam, the imperial exam. And to work in the government, you had to come here and study and take this exam. There's going to be ancient, old, not really ancient, but very old tablets with names of the people that did very well on this government exam. So the Confucian Temple and the Imperial College. Well, I'm standing here with Confucius as we know him, but his real name in China is Kongzi, or Master Kong. The name Confucius came from Jesuit monks in the 17th century, but this dude was born like in 500s. Is it BC?
Yes.
Really, I think his teachings, though hard to read, the basic principle is that he was trying to bring a lot of order, or celebrate the traditional order of Chinese society at a time when there was a lot of chaos. So he taught a lot about order and family relationships, just your proper place in society. And really, he was not very religious. It's really not a religion. It's more of a philosophy and a codification of traditional Chinese thought.
Okay, so there are almost 200 tablets like these in this garden here. You can see they go all the way around here, all behind me. They're 4 or 5 deep behind me. And they record the names of all the successful candidates for the examination system. So the people who passed the exam and got into the government and got good jobs have their names printed here. It was for about 1,000 years. It was from about 1000 AD to about 1900. So even though Confucius was born and lived and died in about 500 BC, it wasn't until about 1,500 years later that the examination system based on his teachings was implemented. So these are the people that passed the test.